Thank you very much, Catherine. Thanks again for everybody for having me here. Again, my name is Sergeant Eric Smith. I'm the sergeant of the Siesta Key substation. Um, and just a report for last month, January, for the key, we had about 341 calls for service, which is a little bit up from from previous months in the previous years. And our Part One crimes, well, they're not called Part One crimes anymore. With our new reporting system, I think I talked about this last time, but the entire nation has switched. Kind of a different reporting system is called now it's called the National Incident Based Reporting System, and they catalog and report crimes to the federal government just a little bit differently, make our numbers look a little bit different, but all in all, we're pretty close to the same. Um, we had just some cases of interest. We had, I think, six vehicle thefts on the key last month. Four of the six were unattended vehicles with the keys left in them, and on two of them, the cars were actually running when the vehicles were stolen. Uh, the fifth one, the car was unattended, unlocked, but the keys weren't in it, so they didn't take it. And then the sixth one was an actual auto theft. The owner had the keys, the doors were locked. Not quite sure yet how that vehicle was taken, and I don't think to this point we have recovered it yet. But out of those six auto thefts, one of them was legitimate, and the fact that the owners didn't leave the car running and didn't leave the keys in the car. So I'm going to just reiterate how important it is to people to lock their cars, take their keys with them. Don't leave your car unattended. Don't leave your keys in the car. Can everybody still hear and see me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure my screen was messing up a little bit. Um, some other things we've had quite a spike in bicycle thefts on the key. It looked like the southern part of the key down by Stickney Point um, were kind of target a little more. We already have increased patrol requests in that area. We already have extra deputies trying to be a little more visible in that area to help prevent any more incidents going on down there. Um, there are other cases of interest. We had three or four, I think, assault charges, kind of like battery. People get in fights down in the village, usually around the bars, around closing time, which is kind of on par with what we normally see, but nothing too big or too out of the ordinary with that. Um, I know the issue continues to come up with dogs on the beach and dogs in the park. We are still trying to address that issue. We confront people all day, every day. It seems like with either the complaints about dogs on the beach, or we actually talk to the people that have dogs on the beach. But I just wanted to add on to that. That includes all county parks. It's not just the beach. So Glebe Park, we've been getting a lot of complaints from dogs in the park there, and that's included with the county beach as well. It's all the parks. You're not allowed to take your dogs to Glebe Park either. Um, but as far as that goes, we are right now in the kind of the pre-planning stages for spring break coming up next month. So you'll see a increased presence from the sheriff's office out there. The horses will be out here. We'll have at least 5 or 6 extra deputies out here per day and all through the night. It's a big event for us here at the sheriff's office. Well, for all of Siesta Key and Sarasota County. So we're going to do our best to make sure everybody's having fun and following the rules. Does anybody have any other questions or any questions? Joyce?
Hey, Eric, it's Natalie. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Hey, have you seen a lot of increased activity of just people all together on the key, and more than what we typically see in January?
Yes, January did seem to be busy. We always have that big time between the end of Christmas to New Year that's usually busy out there, but it did seem to be busy. I talked to some of the business owners down in the village. They seem to, be their numbers were, if not the same, better than it was in years past. The last week or so has been a little down, probably due to the weather. It's been chilly the last few days, but yeah, I think over January we did see quite a few people at the beach, and a lot of people from out of state.
Thanks for the update.
I had a question about what is your normal staffing on Siesta Key? I had someone that had a question about that.
Yeah, so we have 4 full-time deputies that are assigned to Siesta Key. That's excluding myself. So with myself included, we have 5. We have at least 2 people out there dedicated to the Siesta Key substation. 2 people every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Monday through Sunday. We work the weekends as well. And then we also have 1 patrol deputy who's assigned out there to the key as well. So on any given day, you're going to have around 3 to 4 deputies on the key during the daytime hours. At night and of evening, we also have a zone deputy out there in our patrol section. And then we have extra people come out as calls needed. If we need some extra patrol increases, you might have 2 or 3 deputies out there at a certain given time, but for the most part, it's one zone and you have 1 deputy out there.
So when you say you have 2 deputies assigned to the substation and 1 on parole, do the deputies at the substation, do they respond to calls or?
Yes, we do. Yep,
Oh.
we respond to every call just like a normal patrol person would. We're just stationed at the beach. So usually have a little better of a response time. And we're the ones you usually see on the 4-wheelers or the side-by-sides.
Right.
We actually get out on the beach. It's just a little easier for us than it is for the patrol guys.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. What'd you say?
Hello, I'd like to ask one question, if I could. I know last month I saw in the paper, and we talked about this about a year ago, about whether there was going to be a neighborhood watch program. And I noticed in the paper and actually on Facebook, there was an indication of a chance to look at what that means, and you could sign up to watch it on your computer. So we are going to have an active neighborhood watch program, and is there a site where different groups could go to find out how to sign up to do that?
Catherine, I apologize, but I don't have any information on that at this time.
Okay.
I'll make a note of it though, and I will get back with you and let me get some more information on where that is and what exactly that's going to look like.
Yes, it was something they produced as a training. You could look at it as an info thing, and it was an event where you could sign up to watch. So I was happy to see that, because we used to have them around, and I think it does make a difference when you have people whose eyes are out and people know that you're one of those groups. I also wondered if you've had any increase in problems in some of the small pocket parks, like that Shell Road. I haven't heard much about it. With the weather, I would guess it's not so bad. And also with the Marine Park, Nora Patterson Park, does that seem to be pretty crime-free at this point?
Yeah, we haven't, access 1, knock on wood, haven't had too many issues up there as of late. I'm sure the weather's had a lot to do with that, but even going back in the past month or so, it's been kind of sporadic. The other parts of the area, we really haven't had, too much going on. It's been nice. And the fact that, I hate to use the word crime free, but yeah, as close to it as we can get. And I'm sorry, I forgot what the other thing you mentioned.
Well, Nora Patterson Park, I had heard some people, we have some members that live there too, and they reported not long back of having some thefts from their docks and unusual things. And they did say to me that they understood the county was supposed to respond, not the city. And that's on the south side of where it comes in, not the park that doesn't have a name. In other words, there's one that's the city and one that's ours.
Right.
I know that's the one that actually has the Bay Island Association attached to it.
Yeah, the parks up there, can sometimes get a little tricky on which
Right.
agency is going to respond. I haven't heard a whole lot about North Patterson Park. Let me check into that as well, and I'll let you know. I heard about the neighborhood watch, and I just don't know what that final product is going to look like. I don't want to misspeak about it, but I'll get some more information on both those things for you.
That sounds great. Thank you. I was very excited when I saw they were offering a program to learn about it. So that's great. Thank you.
No problem. Hold on, Margaret. I think you're muted.
I could wave my hand all I wanted. Hey, I wanted to ask, I know that this is a nuisance more than anything else, that we have the bikes on the beach that in the evening about sunset, about 5:36, and they're in a group. It's not, and some of them are pedaling, but most of them are riding the motors, and they're going a little fast. I know it's not long. They go from one end and then they turn around and go back to the other end. So.
Yeah, I had a gentleman stop me on the beach today and was inquiring about the bikes and it's kind of a touchy subject. Are you referring to the e-bikes, the electric bikes out there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It can be kind of a touchy subject because they're both a bicycle and an electric vehicle.
Yes, sir. But there's like 20 people, and out of the 20 people, 6 or 7 will be pedaling, and everybody else will be going. And the interesting thing is they do go a little fast. If they could just figure out how to make them a little slower, because we're watching the sunset. I'm not watching for bikes.
Yeah, that honestly, I'm glad you brought that up because that's something I was actually, Catherine, maybe later on this week I can get with you about and maybe try to find some different options and maybe, influencing these people to take a different path.
Catherine, you're muted now. Mute.
Okay. I know it must feel good to the folks that get to do that. I also know that when there's a lot of people that arrive here, it'll be a different matter. I think lately it's been easier, but it's not going to go away unless there is some kind of predictable system. I think you're right. Maybe they can find some other ways. I know there's some wonderful trails that they could take someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get with you later on this week and maybe we can discuss that a little more in depth about
it's definitely touchy. I'll agree it's touchy. I mean, I don't want to be saying much to them because they're relaxing, enjoying themselves, but it is a nuisance for other people. That's all.
I completely understand.
Yeah.
It's a surprise. We used to have a problem with those kite boarders that used to come zooming over the little dunes we had. And all of a sudden there comes a guy on a board and you've been sitting in the beach and boom, coming flying on the end of a kite. They've even outlawed that, and that's not even electric. So
yeah.
So that's interesting. All right. Well,
anybody else have any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Thanks for letting me take part.
All right. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye now.